Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing very well today. It's a nice morning over here. I've had my morning coffee. I've got it going. Kids are all dropped off at school. Time to just kind of sit back and relax. And I want to have this little discussion with you guys today. And first of all, before we get started, I should mention there are going to be spoilers in this video. So if you haven't seen the new Joker movie yet, you might want to hold off on watching this video until you go see it first. Or if you just don't care, watch the video. It's up to you, right? So, me personally, spoilers don't usually bother me a whole lot unless it's some kind of big spoiler. You know what I mean? Like, this is some kind of like if I was watching The Sixth Sense, for example, spoiler alert right here. If I was watching The Sixth Sense and someone told me, hey, by the way, he's been dead the whole time. Yeah, something like that would kind of ruin the experience for me. But for the most part, when I kind of already decide if I'm going to see a movie or not, regardless. So most time spoilers don't really affect me a whole lot. But for those who are more sensitive to that, who rather just see the movie first before they find anything else out, you might want to turn off this video because we will be talking about the movie, and there will be some spoilers during this review, or not review, but just discussion. So first of all, guys, let me start off by saying this right here, amazing movie. This is Joker. This is the one with Joaquin Phoenix that came out, I believe it was 2018. Great movie. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was very well done. A very dark, gritty version of Joker's story, but very well done. I like the take. I like the direction they went with it. A lot of fun. And I thought it was really good. Didn't really say anything negative about it. I thought the whole story was really pretty on point. I like how well, I don't like it, but the movie is based around him just getting bullied all the time and not really kind of defending himself. Where obviously throughout the course of the movie, he becomes more more about himself. He becomes more himself. He actually shows how crazy and how how just out there he really is. So that's what's really cool about this movie. Thought they did a terrific job on it. This movie also introduced Batman for the first time. Not Batman, but Bruce Wayne. So Batman is a little kiddo. So it has Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's dad, and of course Bruce Wayne himself. And it was interesting that they introduced them in the movie, and I'll touch on that a little bit more later. But as to why it's interesting, but I thought it was really cool. They added the connection with Batman and Joker. They put obviously it's in the same universe. They put that connection there. I thought that was pretty well done. So enough about the original Joker movie. Okay. Let's discuss the new one that just came out. And I've got a couple bullet points to help me get through this. So this won't take long, guys. I just want to kind of discuss a few things with you. And, also I would love to hear your thoughts at the end as well. But the new movie called Joker, I think it's called, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Folie à Deux. But anyways, it's the second Joker movie. So I was looking forward to this movie. Yesterday I went and got a ticket for a matinee showing. So I'm not sure if it's like this everywhere or not, but here locally where I'm at, matinee all day on Tuesdays. And it's probably a nationwide thing. I don't know. So matinee prices all day, which means you pay $4.75 all day for your tickets. So it doesn't matter what showing you see, it doesn't go up on price based on what time of day it is. It's $4.75 all day. And that being said, of course you still have to pay for your snacks. So the snacks don't change at all. Your popcorn and Coke are still like ridiculously priced. So, in my opinion, sorry, I go off on a tangent, a whole different story about that. But anyways, the Coke and the soda, the snacks, whatever, popcorn, candy, all that, that's all normal price. But at least the matinee, the movie itself, instead of being like $9, it's like half the price, roughly. It's $4.75. So, got my ticket to go see Joker last night, the new one, Folie à Deux, however you pronounce it. Went to the 9 o'clock showing last night because that's after everybody's in my house is kind of settled in. Wife and kids are in bed. I thought that'd be a good time for me to go see it. And guys, I gotta tell you, from the very beginning, I was very let down by this movie. And let me explain why. So a few things off the bat. To begin with, the very beginning of the movie has a really funny, kind of cool little cartoon, like old school, like Warner Brothers cartoon. I thought that was kind of neat. I did enjoy that part of it. But to be fair, that's about the only thing I enjoyed about this whole movie. So just to kind of based on my bullet points I have here for you guys, the only action scenes throughout the movie, honestly, are pretty much, minus a couple, most of the action scenes are pretty much just done during his own imagination or like a musical number, right? Which is all part of, it's not really happening. That to me was a letdown. There's a court scene where he's doing this musical number and he's like killing everybody, right? He's like bashing people with stools. He gets up, he grabs the gavel and bashes beats to death the judge. But again, it's all in his head. None of this actually happens. So throughout the movie, again, there is a couple action sequences that do happen, outside of that. But through most of this movie, there's nothing that he does that's like, like Joker's staple. He doesn't like go beat the crap out of people or kill. He doesn't do any killing like that. It's pretty chaotic, and not in a good way. I would have loved to have seen him, gotten free from prison and then go on a rampage and get all these people following him. But that's not what this movie was about. The movie was primarily about him not getting off necessarily, but him probably getting a lesser sentence because they want to prove that he's insane, and that's why he killed those 5/6 people. Count his mom. That's why he killed 6 people. It's because he was insane. It's like another person was living with him. You have Arthur Fleck, and then you also have the Joker, all in one person. You know what I mean? So they were trying to sell the insanity to the court, and that's what this movie was about primarily. So I'm assuming if he was insane, he would have just gotten to go to like a mental institution where they would do treatments and stuff for him, as opposed to if he loses and he's of sound mind for killing all these people, then the whole thing of the movie was he was going to be executed for it. He was going to die. So that was primarily what the movie is about. Unfortunately, that's pretty much all it was. It didn't. He broke out one time, but never in a way to where like he went out and just caused chaos and murdered a bunch of people and that. It never happened like that. So, which that sounds terrible, but that's what this kind of movie is. It's Joker. You expect that from the character Joker from the Batman world. You expect him to be insane and just going out there and just causing all kinds of havoc, So that was my first point I wanted to make is most of the action scenes were primarily his imagination or part of a musical number, which again would be his imagination. Okay, that's the point I was trying to get across. The singing in the movie wasn't so great. I mean, I know Joaquin Phoenix can sing really well, but I get what they were doing. They didn't want him to sing well. They wanted him to sing as Arthur Fleck. They didn't want him to sing, Joaquin Phoenix, great, really good singer. They want him just to sing as the character Arthur Fleck, and while they did that, I understand that what they were trying to do there. But the problem is, to me, it kind of came off a little bit annoying. The singing was a bit rough. Lady Gaga did fine. Obviously, she's a professional singer, and even with her Harley Quinn character, they gave her a pretty decent voice. The Joker, the Arthur Fleck character, him singing was pretty rough, in my opinion. So, that was another point. I just didn't really like it a whole lot. Going back to the point I just discussed earlier, was he was incarcerated the whole time. So he was in jail 95% of the movie, if not longer than that. The only time he was out, there was one part in the movie pretty late in the movie, where he actually does escape. But the rest of the time he's incarcerated. So because of that, to me, there wasn't enough for a big story. A big story plot. They tried to again just use the fact that he was in prison and he was trying to defend himself, and at least just get criminally insane instead of being just conscious and aware of what he was doing when he was doing all these murders. So that alone just didn't make a very good story, and also the fact that he was incarcerated the whole time also took away from it. So okay, here's the big spoiler. Like I said, those are all spoilers for the movie, but here's the big one, and this is kind of this is the one I think that kind of makes the biggest effect on this whole discussion here. Joker dies in the end, right? Arthur Fleck dies in the end of the movie, and he actually gets literally at the very end. There's another inmate who wants to run a joke by him, just see if Arthur Fleck likes the joke, and really all he does is just he reads the joke to him and he just stabs him. He just stabs him to death, and that's it. Like I said, Joker dies. That's it. So to me, the movie was pointless because I'm sorry, not the first movie. It kind of took away from the first movie by killing him off. As I mentioned earlier, Thomas Wayne and Bruce Wayne were introduced in the first movie, because they're part of the same world that Joker's in. And now they killed off the Joker, so now there can never be, Batman, whenever Bruce Wayne grows up and becomes Batman, he no longer has that arch enemy. Everybody thinks of Batman, they think of Joker. That's one of his main villains, right? And now it's not even going to be there. It doesn't even make sense. To me, it didn't even make sense to kill him off because at this time, Bruce Wayne is still just a kid. He's not even, he has no issues. He's not Batman yet. So now they kill off Arthur Fleck or whatever, Joker, and now there's not ever going to be a battle with him and Joker. No Batman and Joker battle. So I thought that was kind of strange. And I guess they just wanted to end the series like that, but I just thought that was kind of odd. To me, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of even introducing Bruce Wayne in the first movie. I guess just as like a cameo kind of thing. Hey, here's Bruce Wayne. As you know, he's going to become Batman later. But when I think of Batman, I also think of Joker. And I thought, I'm not saying that there was ever going to be a movie where they're going to fight against each other like that. The Joaquin Phoenix version versus whatever Batman. I wasn't saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But we know that Joker lived long enough to have several battles with Batman. And while that sounds kind of a silly point to call out, I just thought that was a little strange to kill him off. So, anyways, guys, tell me your thoughts. What did you think about the movie? If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, like I said, you might want to hold off. It's a little late now if you've already watched this far in the video, but you might want to hold off on this video until you go actually watch the movie. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. Overall, I was very let down, especially because I really enjoyed the 2018 version so much. I was very let down by the route they went for this movie. I don't know what they could have done differently or what the story should have been, but I don't think it should have been this. It was also kind of crazy how one last point I didn't add on here, but I'm just going to kind of talk about it at the end. He kind of, there's a part where he's in court and he's kind of doing his closing argument, and he just kind of becomes normal Arthur Fleck. He's like, hey, I'm basically telling you right now, this isn't Joker speaking. This is Arthur Fleck from me, from my heart. And when he does that, a lot of people that are there to support him as Joker, like including Harley Quinn, they walk out the courtroom, right? And so I didn't like what they did there either. They basically denounced him as Joker, and then him and Harley, at that point, him and Harley's relationship were just through. It was over. She no longer wanted anything to do with him, because she was there. She was in love with Joker, honestly. So, anyways, guys, tell me again. Going back to you guys, tell me your thoughts on the movie. Did you like it? Did you think it could have been done better? What were the main points of the movie that you did enjoy? For me, guys, this was, I hate to be so harsh, but this was really, for me, just a waste of my time. I didn't really enjoy it at all. And I'd heard, going into it, I already heard negativity about it, and that's fine. Let me tell you guys, there have been many times I've heard completely negative things about movies, and I go and saw it, and I think it's great. You know what I mean? I don't always go by the critics. I don't always go by what people are saying. I like to get my actual own perspective on it. You know what I mean? There's been many movies that have flopped in the past that I thought were great movies, and I'm like, why did this flop? This is a great movie. But, whatever. It is what it is. But that's why I wanted to go see it. Even though I'd heard negativity about it, I wanted to go see it for myself, especially since I enjoyed the first one so much. I was hoping that the second one would have lived up to the first one's hype or expectations, so to say. So, yeah, to me, it was a waste of time. The only redeeming thing out of it was, hey, my ticket was free. I used one of those, I was a part of that Cinemark deal where you get one free ticket every month, where my mom is, and she hooked me up with a free ticket. And she even hooked me up with a little bit of money for the concessions. So I guess for me, the experience was free. It's just, it comes down to a waste of my time, really and truly, just because it's very rare that I go into a movie, and I say extremely rare, that I go into a movie and there's nothing redeeming about it, no redeeming quality about the movie. So for me, this was a big 2 thumbs down. That's the best way I can put it, guys. There was literally nothing in the movie that's going to make me want to watch it ever again. And this is going to go a tiny bit off topic, but the Matrix movies, right? So I love the first Matrix movies, first Matrix movie. Do not like any of the sequels at all, even up to the newest one that came out. I do not like any of the sequels whatsoever. And that might get a lot of controversy, but we can discuss that on a separate video. But I just thought that they should just left it alone at the first movie, when it comes to Matrix. And so I would have hoped that they could have done something different for Joker. I really wanted them to do a Joker sequel, but this is not it. This is not what I wanted to see. Okay, so again, you guys let me know your thoughts and you know what you think about the movie, and you know, just that's it, just what you thought, and you know, was it good in your eyes? Did it live up to the expectations? Is this something you consider seeing again? Like, is it something you would, you know, actually own and watch regularly? Let me know your thoughts. But for me, guys, that's all I had to say. Again, applaud the effort, but just nothing there for me to make me want to watch this ever again. Very, very disheartening. And that's all I have for you guys. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. And we'll catch you next video. Take care.